There are moments in life when everything feels strangely distant. You wake up, move through your day, talk to people, complete tasks, yet something inside feels hollow, unanchored, or quietly drifting. It's as if you're watching your own life from a few steps behind. And even though nothing is wrong on the surface, something feels missing. Something feels lost. This feeling is more common than we admit. It's not a personal failure or a sign of weakness. It's a signal, a whisper from within, telling us that we've wandered too far from ourselves. That somewhere along the way, the noise of the world grew louder than the voice inside us. We live in a world that moves faster than our hearts were designed to beat. Every day, we're surrounded by information, opinions, expectations, and endless choices. Our minds are constantly pulled outward, toward screens, notifications, responsibilities, and the pressure to keep up. In this environment, feeling lost isn't surprising. It's almost inevitable. When life becomes a blur of motion, we lose the ability to sense where we are internally. We stop noticing what we feel, what we need, and what truly matters to us. Instead, we operate on autopilot, efficient, productive, but disconnected. This disconnection creates a quiet ache. A sense that life is happening to us rather than through us. And because everyone else seems to be moving confidently, we assume we're the only ones struggling. But the truth is, almost everyone feels this way at some point. The world is loud. And the louder it becomes, the easier it is to lose ourselves. Our minds drift because they're constantly searching for safety, certainty, and belonging. When life feels overwhelming, the mind escapes into daydreams, distractions, or endless thinking. It's a survival mechanism, not a flaw. But drifting becomes a problem when we drift too far. When we stop being present in our own lives. When we lose the ability to feel grounded in our bodies, our breath, and our inner world. Part of the reason is that we're rarely taught how to stay with ourselves. We're taught how to achieve, how to perform, how to impress, but not how to listen inward. Not how to sit with discomfort. Not how to understand our emotions. So when something feels off, we don't know how to respond. We only know how to run. And the more we run, the more lost we feel. One of the biggest reasons we feel lost is the invisible weight we carry, the expectations of family, society, culture, and even our younger selves. We're told who we should be, what success looks like, and how our lives should unfold. And even when we don't consciously believe these expectations, they shape us. We start living for approval instead of authenticity. We choose paths that look good on the outside but feel empty on the inside. We silence parts of ourselves to fit into roles we never chose. And slowly, without noticing, we drift away from who we truly are. This creates a deep inner conflict. A quiet tension between the life we're living and the life that feels true. And that tension often shows up as confusion, numbness, or the sense of being lost. Comparison is one of the most powerful forces pulling us away from ourselves. Social media shows us curated lives, perfect moments, perfect bodies, perfect achievements. And even when we know it's not real, our hearts react as if it is. We begin to measure our worth against illusions. We start believing we're behind, inadequate, or not enough. And the more we compare, the more disconnected we feel from our own path. Comparison blinds us to our uniqueness. It makes us forget that every life unfolds at its own pace. That meaning isn't found in matching someone else's journey, but in honoring our own. When we compare, we abandon ourselves. And that abandonment is one of the deepest sources of feeling lost. Silence is uncomfortable because it reveals what we've been avoiding. When the noise fades, our true feelings rise, the fears, the doubts, the unresolved emotions. And because we're not taught how to sit with them, we fill every quiet moment with distraction. But silence is also where we rediscover ourselves. It's where clarity emerges. It's where the inner voice, the one we've ignored for years, finally has space to speak. Feeling lost is often a sign that we haven't been quiet long enough to hear ourselves. That we've been living externally, reacting instead of reflecting. Silence isn't empty. It's full of the answers we've been searching for. The first step in returning to ourselves is simple: we must slow down. Not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. Slowing down means creating space to breathe, to feel, to notice what's happening inside. When we slow down, we reconnect with the present moment. We begin to sense our body again. We notice the tension in our shoulders, the tightness in our chest, the thoughts racing through our mind. And in that noticing, something shifts. We become aware. And awareness is the doorway back to ourselves. Slowing down doesn't require a retreat or a perfect routine. It can be as simple as pausing for a few breaths, taking a short walk without your phone, or allowing yourself to do one thing at a time. These small acts of presence begin to rebuild the connection we've lost. Once we slow down, we can begin to listen inward. This means paying attention to the subtle signals we usually ignore, the emotions beneath the surface, the quiet desires, the discomforts, the longings. Listening inward is an act of honesty. It requires us to face what we've been avoiding. But it also reconnects us with our truth. When we listen inward, we begin to understand what we actually want, not what we think we should want. We begin to sense what feels right, what feels wrong, and what needs to change. This inner listening is not dramatic. It's gentle. It's like tuning a radio until the static fades and the signal becomes clear. And the more we practice, the clearer that signal becomes. The final step is reconnecting with meaning, the things that make us feel alive, grounded, and aligned. Meaning doesn't have to be grand or dramatic. It can be found in small, quiet moments, creating something, helping someone, learning, resting, or simply being present. When we reconnect with meaning, we stop drifting. We begin to feel rooted again. We remember who we are beneath the noise, beneath the expectations, beneath the comparisons. Meaning is the compass that guides us back to ourselves. To reconnect with meaning, ask yourself: what brings me peace? What brings me joy? What feels true? What feels nourishing? Your answers don't need to impress anyone. They only need to resonate with you. Feeling lost is not a failure. It's an invitation, a gentle reminder that you deserve to return to yourself. You deserve slowness, silence, honesty, and meaning. You deserve a life that feels like your own. And no matter how far you've drifted, you can always come back. The path is always there. The door is always open. And the person you're returning to has been waiting for you with patience and love. Thank you for watching. If you like this type of content, kindly consider to like, comment and subscribe to the channel for upcoming videos.